Afternoon, y'all. I'm Steve with Yellow Creek Outdoors, and today I wanted to talk about the Summit Steel Viper climbing stand along with some of the accessories that I have for it. Now, I've owned a few different climbing stands, from Loggy Bayous to Old Man climbing stands, and then Summit. I've had this one for a few years, and this is, like I said, this is the Summit Steel Viper. This is a steel frame. It's not aluminum like a lot of their other models. This is their lower end model. But I've had this a few years, and I gotta say, if and when this thing ever decides, look like a Black Widow. If and when this thing ever decides it wants to quit on me, I'll definitely be buying another one. Summit has got me sold, and for those of you that own a Summit, I'm sure you can say the same thing. The Summit Steel Viper goes for around $200. I've seen them go higher than that, but a majority of your place, I'd say probably about 85% of your stores, whether it be online or at your local hunt shop, they're going to go for about $200, which is really good. If you're on a budget, kind of like me, I'm not one to spend $400, $500, $600, $700 on a climbing stand when I can spend a couple $100 and be comfortable while I hunt. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, like, you know, if you're on a budget, this is definitely a climbing stand to look into if you're into climbing stands. And I said about $200 and you're good to go. I've changed some things, added some things, but this climber here has a 300 to 350 pound weight limit. Being steel, it's, you know, that's how it goes. But I think their aluminum models are about the same. With this being steel, it does weigh a little bit more. But if you're only trekking, you know, maybe 100, 200 yards into the woods, that ain't gonna be a problem. Now, if you're like some of the times I've done where you're trekking almost a half a mile, you're gonna get tired. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, it's worth it. Definitely a stand worth looking into if you're not looking to spend the money. With the seat, this isn't the original seat. This is one I just recently put on. I had the original seat, but I wanted something different. But even with the original seats, this is like the recliner of climbing stands. It's just so comfortable. You know, with climbing stands that have like your mesh seat or your really hard foam seats, you know, after a while you just really start getting uncomfortable. With Summit, it's just like this particular seat here is that egg crate foam, so very comfortable. Now the original seats that come, it's just a solid flat foam, but like I said, really comfortable. I decided to replace the seat because I accidentally left this out sitting for a whole summer, and when I did remember it, I was too lazy to go and get it, and most of the time I just forgot about it until recently. So you see it's a little faded out on some of the stuff, and I got some rust here, but other than that, the rust is just surface rust, ain't a problem. You know, it's got holes that it can drain the water out. But anyway, so that's the stand. I mean, if you're interested in a Summit, but you're on a budget, this is the stand to look into. That's the Summit Steel Viper, and you can find them just about anywhere. As far as some of the accessories, your straps. These aren't the original straps. Like I said, when I left it sitting out over summer, it had it was just a solid strap. There was no bungee. All it was a strap. They ended up deteriorating, ripped apart, so I had to get a new kit. I got these, which is the bungee straps. I gotta say, it's comfortable. It works for me. And I said, if you're only toting it in, you know, 100, 200 yards into the woods, it ain't gonna be a problem. But it comes with the straps. It also comes with a bungee lanyard. So when I originally got this, it was a piece of string, like 550 cord, that was high visibility. That's all it came with. But I got this, so I've got a bungee strap, the bungee lanyard, I've got bungee straps, no problem. Your stirrups, I'm used to just a strap that sits on here where you just slip your feet in and you use it on the climber to pick the bottom end up. But these, they have stirrups. They have this bungee rope here, sits in like that. You slip your foot in, and I mean, it works. I don't recommend doing it in flip-flops, but if that's what you're into in 20-degree weather, by all means, go for it. I know you northerners are particular about that. Well, you got the straps, you got your stirrups. Oh, let's see. They make replacement parts for just about everything on this thing, which one of them I'm going to have to look into probably next year, some new cables. They've started to get cut up a little bit, but I mean, I can give you a price on the majority of this stuff. Some of it I got online, some of it I got at my local hunt store, but the prices all vary, whether online or in store. It's all kind of the same. So the stand, about $200. The seat here, I've been looking at one of these and I found them online. They go for about $100. I know it's a little pricey, but in my opinion, for the price of comfort, it's worth it. I mean, they go for about $100. I picked this up at my local hunt store. They just so happened to have one, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna pick it up right then and there. So I bought that, and let's see, I got new straps. The straps themselves, or the new strap kit, I've also bought at the local hunt store. I was looking into another one, but I picked those up instead, and they cost me, I think, around $35, $40, so it's reasonable. Cables, if you own a Summit hunting stand or you purchase one in the future and need to replace them, the cables right now are running about $50, and that's anywhere. I've seen in my local store, the Mossy Oak store we have out here, online, it all runs about $50. And then this right here, the Summit Deluxe pouch, or Summit Deluxe hunting bag. I just got this in today. I ain't gonna lie, I was excited to get this in. If you're like me, you're toting a backpack into the woods and then you get up in the tree, you tote it up because you gotta have all your stuff. This bag is something else, which I'll get into that here in a minute. But let's talk about the climber, talk about the straps, let's talk about the seat. Alright, so this is the Summit surround seat. Obviously made by Summit, but this is the surround seat. Very nice seat, I gotta admit. I'm loving this seat. I've already used it a couple times, and it's just one of those seats that, if you're well, I used to be like that. I don't really do it anymore. But if you're one of those hunters that likes to get out there and sit all day, this is the seat you can do it in. You can sleep in this seat. It's just so comfortable. Like I said, the padding, bottom padding, and on the back here, it's that egg crate foam, or egg crate foam. Very comfortable. Got these sidewalls here to block out wind. You know, if you got it coming from your back, whether from the sides, it blocks it out. It does have these pouches in here. It's got 3 pouches, one on each side and one on your back. I've looked at reviews on this and people talking about, well, you know, it's kind of stupid to put pouches there because you can't put nothing there. It's not made to put things in it. It has one purpose, and that's for warmers. You know, you got your hot hands, or you got the big warmers. Take those, slap those in there, call it good. Now these do have Velcro on them, but there's a way to fix that. Just take it, lift it up. You got this little flap here. Lift it up. Take the flap, stick it in there. You're good to go. Like I said, you got one on each side and one on your back. Really good seat. Goes for about $100. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly recommend it. So while I was editing the video, there was something I forgot to add to this that I wanted to throw out there. With this seat, you have to be careful with it because of these little bungee clips or bungee straps. This seat is suspended, as you can see from the original angle that I had it in. You can adjust this seat to go up or down. Now, with this particular seat, you got to be careful with that, because if you drop this down too much, you can stretch these out and possibly break them. So with this seat, if you're interested in getting this seat, keep that in mind. Also on the back here, you know, just like every other Summit seat, you've got these bungees. Well, there's a bungee that sits back here that clips, that helps hold the seat in place. You got to be careful, watch out for that one too. So that's just something I wanted to throw out there for y'all to keep in mind if you are interested in getting one of these seats. For me, that's a minor inconvenience, but I mean, I can still get comfortable in the seat. I like to bow hunt a lot, and being with some of the places I hunt, you can only bow hunt. So this is a must-have. This is a Summit Universal bow holder. I picked this up at the Mossy Oak and goes for about $25. So highly recommend. I mean, sits on there pretty tight. You can hang your bow on it, no problem. And it's got a little rubber piece in here. So if your frame diameter is a different size, or if it's different from other stands, you got this in here. It just acts as a spacer, and it also helps grip it. So definitely definitely recommended if you bow hunt. Now on to one of my favorite pieces. Like I said, I just got this today and I'm really excited about it. I was a little skeptical about it when I did buy it because I wasn't sure how good it was going to be or how big it was going to be. But after there was another video, I can't remember where it is now, on YouTube. Dude did a small review on this, and I'm excited about it. But we got a side pouch here. I use that for my rangefinder. You've got your main pouch here. I mean, that's a good bit of space. I mean, I've got my rattles, my binoculars, my lights, my call. And I mean, there's still a ton of space left in there. Then you've got another pouch here, which I use for my hand warmers, which, for those of you that are interested, Super Value hand warmers on the Walmart app. If you see this before the end of the year, I got a pack of 240 of these for $60. Just something to keep in mind, and they do work good. I've already tried them out. But yeah, I mean, I got that packed full of my hand warmers. It also has let me go over here, has a cup holder, which I've got my crack in a can. But if you're out on those morning hunts, which I don't do much, I like my sleep, you can have your coffee in there, your drink, whatever it is, bottled water, doesn't matter. You got your cup holder. Now these do attach by Velcro, which isn't a bad thing if you're going to keep it on there. No problem at all. It does have these clips here, and I'm assuming it's to help collapse it, kind of compact the size a little bit. But other than that, I gotta say, it's great. I've seen people complain about the way it's set up because it sits out like this, gives you a little more room on the inside. If you turn it around, you're kind of collapsing that space you have between your legs, and I mean, this will pretty much be sitting on your legs. But all in all, I think it's definitely a buy. I bought this for, I think, $45 online, because every place around here that sold it is sold out of them, and they're on back order. So I ended up ordering it through Walmart, and it took a few days to come in, and it finally came. So I'm definitely psyched about that. So anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And till next time, till the next video, I'll see y'all. Take it easy.